It's been a while, a couple of months. We took some time off to take the camper down to our lot down in Florida,
Yes, we
and
did.
and drove back up to Michigan to spend the holidays. But we figured since it was time, we finished season one, but yet it was time for a new episode. Yeah, because we're way overdue, aren't we, Andy?
We are. We're sitting here in Michigan, as you can see, in our sweatshirts, freezing our buns off.
Yeah, 31
We're
degrees
not on the
right
road
now.
in our camper anymore.
Well, we will be in a couple of weeks, but in the meantime, I thought I went back in the archives, my copyright archives, and though a few of you have seen this, a lot of you that subscribe to the Jimmy Lew and Andy Too channel have not. And I did a parody of something called Pure Michigan, where they talk about different areas or different events in Michigan, and they use them as a commercial to get people to come to the state.
Yep, it's a real cool video. We've had a lot of fun with it.
We did, and what it deals with is the Labor Day weekend bridge walk of the Mackinaw Bridge, one of the longest bridges in the country, 5-mile bridge.
Something we always wanted to do was walk that bridge, and then we finally did. For several years now.
Yes, and I took the video from the bridge that day, all the videos that we shot, and I turned it into a parody, a pure Michigan commercial parody. So Jimmy Lew and Andy Too will be back in a couple of weeks, going to season 2. But in the meantime, just so you know, we're still around.
Yes, when Jimmy says all the video that we took, we have to give credit to our SOL group, our Circle of Love, because they did contribute a lot of the video that Jimmy has accumulated on our bridge walk. So they were involved in this too.
Absolutely. So thank you for saying that, and enjoy. And we'll be back with season 2 very soon. Once again, tag along.
Absolutely.
Mackinaw. The only word in the English language where it is acceptable to pronounce the letter C as if it were a W. Mackinaw, a city, in which you point to the tip of your second finger to explain to people from out of state exactly where it is located. The word Mackinaw stems from the Algonquin Indian name given to the watery straits and its surrounding area, and that name is Michilimackinac, which happens to be an Algonquin phrase for "We need 'em bridge." Although much too late for those slaughtered Native Americans, a mighty bridge bearing the name Mackinaw was completed in 1957. The Mackinaw Bridge finally linked the two Michigan peninsulas, thus allowing anyone with a car from the lower the opportunity to actually see moose and youpers. The total cost for this incredible structure came to just under $100 million, which in today's world would be equal to Prince Fielder's contract. Starting with Labor Day 1958, the mighty Mac has been home to the annual bridge walk. The original intent was to offer Michigan residents the chance to throw the governor over the side. Boy, that G. Menon Williams could really run fast. Since 1959, all Michigan governors have continued to walk the bridge, but they get to go first and are surrounded by lots of bodyguards. Damn. Today, the 5-mile journey begins with a bus ride from Mackinaw City across the bridge north to St. Ignace. If you're early enough, the bus does provide you with a great vantage point in which to flip off the governor. Just saying.
Hey, Gov!
Once in St. Ignace, you'll depart the bus at Father Marquette Park. At this point, you'll be given the opportunity to produce some of your own Mackinaw fudge. Did I say produce? I meant purchase. It's world famous. Anyway, most people just choose to pee, and that is why the Great Lake on the east side of the bridge is called Huron. And finally, at exactly 8 a.m., the long-awaited Mackinaw Bridge walk begins. And as you walk your way off the Michigan mainland and onto this massive, swaying, 5-mile-long suspension bridge, that's right, a bridge that at its highest point sits well over 200 feet above the rushing waters below. 3 letters come to mind: WTF. Too late now to scratch the Mackinaw Bridge walk off that bucket list. And so you continue walking up that suspended incline toward those 2 giant towers for what seems an eternity. So as not to seem scared to the other walkers with and around you, You pretend to look out at the sparkling water and the occasional Great Lakes freighter passing through, when all the while, your eyes are closed as tight as can be. Maybe that's a good idea because you never know when you're going to run into someone that thinks jumping up and down on the bridge might be fun. On second thought, you better just keep walking and looking straight ahead. Don't want someone to push you when you're not looking. And besides, by the time you're coming up on a third of the way across, you start thinking to yourself, hey, this ain't so bad. But that's precisely the time your feet meet the Great. Suddenly, you become very religious. Go ahead, take a look. It won't kill you. Or will it? By about the time you reach the halfway point, you're actually beginning to feel much more confident. You begin to notice that no one around you has actually fallen over the side or through the grates. Suddenly, you're feeling more alive than ever. And you begin to take in the true beauty of the mighty Mac and its surrounding area. You begin to think about what it took to build such a magnificent structure. But do you think for even a minute about the 5 brave men that lost their lives while constructing this spectacular span? Of course not. You're thinking about Leslie Ann Pluhar. That's right, the gal that lost control of her 1987 Yugo, swerving and flipping it up over the guardrail and plummeting nearly 200 feet into the chilly waters below. And one can only imagine that if she had the technology of today, do you realize that the last word she would have ever heard on her way down would have come from her automated GPS system, which would have simply said,
"Recalculating."
Well, my friend, during the time you were caught in a trance within that morbid memory, you actually crossed onto the Lower Peninsula and worked your way up to the finish line. There, you are congratulated and presented with a certificate for your amazing accomplishment. So finally you pose with the group that supported you in this breathtaking and daredeviling adventure. Because having a photo that officially documents how much of a badass you truly are is pure Michigan.